Hello and welcome to Zenscopes, where we look on the bright side. The summer of 2020 sees more potency with 3 eclipses going on, so let's take a look at those. The first is a full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius on June 5th. This energy would be best served in the great outdoors and getting in touch with nature. Travel is one way to truly feel free in the world, so you might like to meditate on what destinations you'd like to go to or what experiences you'd like to have in the months ahead. Because remember, the eclipses last for, not just the day that it goes on, but for many months following it. And the June 21st new moon solar eclipse is in Cancer, just like the one in January. Emotions from the past could return to be healed and released once and for all. So again, it's about letting go. And this eclipse happens in the 12th house, so it's extra charged and has more than a touch of the ethereal about it. This is about definitively using intuition to link to what soothes the soul and invigorates the spirit. And it's a great time for getting spiritual and imagining and manifesting. Now, the July 5th full moon lunar eclipse is in Capricorn, and there could be some foundational changes going on, and the way to work with this energy is not to resist but to assist. So do your bit and go with the flow as new foundations are built, creating a much firmer bedrock than before. Jupiter conjuncts Pluto in Capricorn for the 3rd and final time this year on November 12th, and this could play out on the world stage as a complete reimagining and reworking of systems that are no longer valid, desirable or sustainable in this day and age. The end of the year sees a lunar eclipse in Gemini on November 30th and a solar eclipse in Sagittarius on December 14th. The Gemini lunar eclipse is good for mining your mind for wisdom. Dreams and daydreams could give you answers to long-held questions. Flashes of insight will come and go, as will the memory of dreams upon waking. So keep a notebook handy to write or draw what your subconscious is telling you. And these insights could lead to new avenues for you to pursue in the world. The Sagittarius solar eclipse heralds a time to act when it comes to expanding your sphere of existence. Now, knowing who you really are deep down, you can experience the world and soak up wisdom you may have closed off from before. This really is about freedom of spirit. Then comes the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius on the solstice on December 21st. Jupiter and Saturn conjunct every 20 years, so this energy was there in 1980 and in 2000. So think of those times on a global level. For example, the 80s saw a great time of abundance and expansion in culture and fashion, technological innovation via music and with the synthesizers and everything like that, and electronic music, film with 3D and video, and gadgets such as fax machines, pagers and brick-style portable phones, along with other generally shifting structures and advancements. And 2000 was ushered in after fears that the millennium bug would create chaos, but it was just a storm in a teacup. The 2000s saw a lot of changes throughout the world and a sense of time and space collapsing, in that we could immediately see what was happening on the other side of the world with 24-hour news, and we could communicate with anyone on the planet via the internet and really travel anywhere on the globe. The world got more instant. Those conjunctions took place in earth signs since the 1800s, and they now shift into air signs for the next 200 years. The last time they occurred in air signs was between the beginning of the 1200s to the start of the 1400s. In those 200 years, a lot of changes took place, and I have looked at some of the examples of things that happened. For example, there was the first English and indeed European written constitution, the Magna Carta. There were new sources of energy and technology in the form of coal, cannons and pistols. There was a focus on exploration and adventuring, such as with 17-year-old Marco Polo's trip to China, which led to him writing one of the first popular travel books. There were social improvements, new religious tolerance, and a new type of currency in the form of paper money via Kublai Khan in China. And there were women in positions of political and military power, such as with Joan of Arc and Edward II's French wife, Isabel. And there were people's rebellions, such as the Peasants' Revolt, and Scotland and Portugal gained independence after battles led by Robert the Bruce and John the Great. So similar themes could start emerging over the coming years and decades. With a square aspect to Uranus in Taurus, this great conjunction of December 2020 will see the amazing changes that have been taking place over the year truly become real. The year is about seeing things clearly with that 2020 vision, not as you think or hope them to be, and then you've got to release what isn't working to allow wonderful new things to grow and blossom. It's about seeing things and yourself objectively, so you can put yourself into the world actively with passion and a good and beautiful heart and soul, no matter what else is happening. With 6 eclipses in all the elements, and Jupiter, Saturn and Pluto energies along with Uranus in Taurus, and the work of Venus and Mars, this is no year for resting on your laurels. Energy is zipping about, so maybe think of yourself as a supercharged electromagnet that emanates kindness and compassion this year. And not just a magnet for abundance or love or success or travel or whatever, and not just waiting for things to be attracted to you, but actually being supercharged thanks to the energies in the ether and actively attracting things to you. Making things happen, not just waiting for them to happen. Create, rather than passively hoping something will just come about. And doing so with a spirit of warm-heartedness and compassion. Resonating with generosity and cheer, so you draw that back to yourself. Actively allowing the good to take shape from an endless sea of potentiality and possibility. So one thing that you can do is write down 3 goals you'd like to work on or achieve this year. Perhaps it's a personal challenge like running your first marathon, a new long-term and committed relationship, or a calling such as writing a book. Then write a list of all the things, no matter how large or small, that you can do to help set you on the path for each goal, and just let the ideas flow. So if one goal is writing a book, perhaps things on your list for that would include committing to writing for an hour a day on weekdays, writing out chapter ideas on index cards and having them where you can see them, reading books of the same genre, pinning up a picture of an author that you admire, perhaps dedicating a meditation session to envisaging your published book on the shelf, and self-educating in the form of books, videos and websites about writing a book. Also designing a cover for your book, researching agents, the list should go on and on. Even things that seem out of reach, like perhaps directly receiving advice or a message from your favourite author. You're then immersing yourself in your goal both mentally, by filling your mind with thoughts of writing and getting a book published, and physically by taking actual action. And the universe responds in kind. Ensure you do it with kindness, so pay attention to being gentle with yourself when it comes to scheduling that hour a day to write. What's the best time of day to suit you? Not the time of day that you think you should do it, or what the best time is for others. There are lots of unusual and powerful energies going on throughout 2020. Remember that everything is always changing in minute and massive ways in time and space. Be kind to yourself first so you can be kind to all others. And with that, I'll say cheerio for now, and thank you for your time and space. Feel free to subscribe so you know when my next videos are posted. I'll be posting monthly videos for each sign soon, along with other weekly videos. And if this resonated with you, please like or comment, as I'd love to get your input. If you think it would inspire someone else, you might like to share this video, and please check out the links below. Thank you very much, and see you soon.